Welcome to the Fruiting Body Podcast, Episode 2, with your host, Brendan O'Neill. Today, we will be interviewing Glenn Sparv, an MMA athlete from Tiger Muay Thai. Don't forget, guys, go check out our Instagram account, at Fruiting Body Mushrooms, and click the link in the bio. We're doing away a free giveaway for a year's supply of Lion's Mane medicinal mushroom supplements. Also, subscribe to this podcast for all notifications, and don't forget to like this video. Now, enjoy the show. Start off from the beginning. What got you into MMA from the get-go?
I got into MMA probably by accident. I never planned to do MMA. It wasn't my plan. MMA just chose to do me. It was
Okay.
just how it was. I wrestled a little bit when I was younger. I was athletic, played soccer and did a lot of track and field. And I did wrestling like off season for soccer because my dad believed it would make us better soccer players.
And also probably it's indoors, so
yeah. And I was good at it. Like from the bell, it was just my thing. But I didn't really have time for it then. But then when I turned 18 and I lived in a city where I had kickboxing, so I went to a kickboxing gym.
In your small town?
Yeah, in my small town.
Okay.
I did that for probably a year and so, but I trained kind of hard and I got kind of good.
So you were starting off with wrestling first, and then you got into kickboxing from there.
And then we did, I think it was kickboxing from 4 to 5, and it was MMA from 5 to 6. So that they told me just stay for this session, just stay for this.
But what age was that when you started even wrestling? Like 6, 7, 8?
No, probably 10, 11.
Because your friends left some questions, so we'll ask those later. I think I think they're pretty funny. But we weren't sure if anyone while we were live streaming tried to join in. We were trying to find a way that we could get them to the TV and you could.
That would be awesome.
We were trying to figure that out, but it's not so simple. Did we figure that out or no? We didn't figure that out.
We didn't figure that out.
Okay, next time we'll figure that out. Okay. So back to your getting started in MMA. You started wrestling at 10, and then in your city there was a kickboxing class. Now, was it at one of the local gyms or
one of the locals? And kickboxing was kind of big in Finland and still is. It's still popular. So yeah, I did that for a year, and I just stayed for an MMA session once, and I was kind of good.
Okay, because we took some notes. I mean, I'm from a small city as well, so when you mention something, everyone will know it. By any chance, were you guys at the Fenric Stall Center? Is this?
That's from.
Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, that's from my home village.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I thought that might have been maybe somewhere where you would have been doing it.
No, so this was maybe 30-40 minute drive from
okay,
where I grew up. So yeah, started that, and after that, it was just full on. My coach told me maybe after 6 months, so that you're fighting in 4 weeks. And I was like, nah, I don't really want to do that.
What age? So you're starting wrestling at 10 or 12, and then around what age was kickboxing?
Probably around 19.
19?
18, 19, yeah.
So what year was this? You're looking 2009, 2008? 2007.
Yeah, 2007.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's way back.
So it's way back. Maybe even before. Yeah, who knows?
Oh, wow. Okay. And then your first fight, how old were you?
My first amateur fight was in 2008. I think 2008.
2008 in Finland?
Yeah, in Finland.
In Finland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I fought amateur because it was kind of easy fighting amateur. Then you didn't need all this. Today it's too expensive. You need insurance. You need to pay a license. You need all the blood work, all the medicals. It's too expensive.
And you have to pay that out of pocket, right?
Yeah, you don't get paid to fight amateur like you do.
Oh, okay.
Some promotions do it with ticket sales and stuff like that, but
So then you're picking up sponsorships around as you go, or you're kind of just paying out of pocket?
There were no sponsorships. Like you got a pair of shorts maybe from like your local guy.
Okay.
the local fight shop gave you a pair of shorts and maybe gave you some training gear, but there were no sponsors. Like,
Okay, because I was wondering, you're always wearing the orange, well, Canadian, the orange toque. So
yeah,
we're trying to understand, is that a sponsor? Or?
Yeah, that was one of my first sponsors. First, I wasn't even sponsored with them. I used to just wear a hat when I wore out. And when I fought in Sweden, they just started a company, so I put the hat on.
Okay, I think that's like the trademark now when you're coming out.
And they saw it on TV, and they were like happy, and it's like, yeah.
Interesting.
And that's one of my close friends from back home in Finland.
What was the name of that sponsor?
KM Roofing.
Oh, it's the roofing.
KM
okay.
Roofing, yeah.
KM Roofing. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you had I was reading up into it. You had some fights in Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and then kind of how did that path lead to coming to Thailand? And if correct me if I'm wrong, you started actually off in Chiang Mai.
Yeah, I did. I had been in Thailand already 2009. That was my first time to Tiger Muay Thai, and I was there for a month. And I came home. I was like, I don't ever fucking go to Thailand again. It was like, no way I'm going there. But I started to level up doing fights. It was hard to fight. And after the fight I lost, I need to do something. So I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
This is while you're in Thailand?
No, I was in Finland.
Okay.
I was in Finland and I was still working full time and trying to fight. But I just needed better training. So I just started Googling around.
Were there other options that went into consideration, like USA, or how did you come across Thailand?
It was only place possible to do it on the money I had. The money I had saved up would only last me that long in US, but in Thailand I knew like it would last me a long time. Even if I don't fight during this time, I can survive on the money I have. But in US, I would have run out like within a year.
So a lot of people that you meet in Phuket, especially, let's say on the Tiger Street or the Tiger Muay Thai Street, do they all have like a similar story as well? Just saying like, well, the money can go a bit farther for the training compared to, let's say, going to the US or whatnot.
Yeah. Some are just like, but many of them have like the same story as me. They don't have the same level training back home.
Okay.
And it's not possible. If you're fighting at a certain level, you need to train at a certain level. Like
you need the same type of training partner.
Yeah, you can't try to fight high level and train at a low level. It doesn't.
I guess that goes with any sport, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but the training I have back home, it was my coaches did everything for me. Like I didn't have really training partners. My coach was my training partners too.
Yeah.
So they held pads for me. They wrestled me, like everything.
So you're at this kickboxing gym. You were kind of training MMA as well.
They had MMA too, but it wasn't the same level MMA you would find like here is.
Like were you doing jiu-jitsu there as well, or?
No, I never really done jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
I'm kind of like an anti-jiu-jitsu guy. I don't know why, but
you still to this day you've still never really touched.
Yeah, I'm a purple belt.
Okay.
And I'm still like decent at jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
And I get good anti-jiu-jitsu. But I wasn't ever training jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
But we just trained MMA. We were strikers and we just trained striking.
you're trying to survive by the striking.
It was more old school training back then. You sparred 5 times a week or something like that. You sparred boxing one day, sparred kickboxing one day, you sparred Muay Thai maybe one day, MMA one day, and wrestle one day. That was how you trained. And
then you get a fight like on the local promotion in your city.
Yeah, we had a good local promotion. Like it was fun fighting because it was like a good atmosphere because it was local fighters. That's like
everybody knows each other.
Yeah, that's what kind of brings that atmosphere. But yeah, so I fought on like local promotions, and then I got some calls from like Denmark and Sweden. And then after that, I was just like, I just need to get better training.
That's I'm guessing snooze.
You want some?
No. This one, my because I play hockey with a lot of Finnish guys actually in China. This one, right to my head, especially if you don't take it too much. But it's more Swedish than right.
It is Swedish.
Yeah, Swedish.
It's banned in Finland.
It's banned in Finland now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck the European Union. They say that.
They said what why would they do that? Is it for health reasons or?
Yeah, for health reasons, but it doesn't make any sense. They should ban cigarettes then too.
It's probably much better than it's probably the tobacco companies in their pocket.
Yeah, it is. It's probably something. who knows?
Yeah, because I would assume that especially as a fighter, that's probably much more healthier for you to take than smoking cigarettes all day.
Yeah, and it's more, but it is a bad habit.
Yeah.
It's a bad, but it could be worse.
No. I mean, alcohol or cigarettes alone, that's the worst. Okay, so you come over to Thailand. You said the first time was 2008, 2009. Is that when you went to Chiang Mai first and started training up there? No. Or you came to Tiger first?
Yeah, to Tiger first and trained there for just a month.
Just a month?
Just as a tourist.
And how was it Tiger back in the day? I mean, 2009, what was the facility like back then?
It was just tiny. It was just like a typical Thai gym, a little bit bigger Thai gym. In the MMA class, we were maybe 6 people. Yeah, around 6 people in the MMA class.
And you were training, were you doing heavily focusing on the MMA side or your Muay Thai side?
Everything. Like I was so young then, so I could just train 3 times a day and party all night. That was like
going out the Bangalore Road.
Yeah.
So 2000. So yeah, you were probably you're like 20, 21ish.
Yeah.
2021.
Too young for Phuket.
Yeah, too young for Phuket. That's pretty young. I mean,
that's what good thing with my second trip too, or when I moved out to Thailand or came out to Thailand first time. I went to Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
Which was probably the better option for me. I think it would be a better option for most people that come into Thailand and are young.
Just to settle you down a bit so you can't get in too much trouble.
Yeah, Chiang Mai just teaches you a little bit, and then you jump into Phuket and learn like the real life.
And which gym were you at Chiang Mai? Is it a famous gym now or
Team Quest Thailand?
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, I think it's the only MMA gym up there. There's some smaller MMA gyms, but like only real MMA gym there.
Is it Thai run or Farang run?
Farang.
Farang. Yeah. And who's running that?
Right now it's Glenn Sparv.
Okay.
He's one of the best coaches out there too.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
And do you guys still stay in touch quite often, or?
Yeah, we stay. I left on good terms. It was just like I was defending like my title in Finland, and they just said like, you need to go like to a bigger gym, like to find some like
to find the right partners to train with. Yeah.
So you need to go to Phuket, but it's okay. You can come back here after, but I never went back after because it was the same thing. Like I would have just have to.
Did you go back home after Chiang Mai and then come back to Phuket, or did you go Chiang Mai, Phuket?
Chiang Mai, Phuket, and I went to AKA Thailand. And I was there for a good 2 years.
Yeah, I saw a lot of your videos that are available online. It's a lot of promo training videos at AKA. Yeah. And that's with Mike Swick, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how was that experience? Or
it was good. Like when they started, it was good. Like we had big groups, everything was good, but it started like thin out a little bit. And eventually, like, we had a little falling out, and I left, and
Okay, well, we won't dive too deep into that because we know how the MMA world is small. Everyone kind of knows each other here, right? Yeah, and whatnot. So you made the decision. You started your. Now, were you sponsored at? You were sponsored at AKA.
Yeah.
You decided to leave. You moved. Did you make that decision immediately to go to Tiger Muay Thai? Did you go back home? Was there any in between time?
Yeah, I went home, or I knew after my last fight I had that year that I wasn't coming back to AK. I was going to Tiger because for me too, I needed to level up. Like I needed to get better, and that was the decision behind it.
And that's probably the key factor. I mean, especially when you're training at MMA gyms, it's having the right training partners to be able to level up, and that's why probably these gyms like American Top Team, Alpha Male, why they all succeed is the right people are there to train with.
Yeah, right people and right coaches. You need you need coaches in all the areas. You can't just have nowadays. You can't just have a striking coach and a jiu-jitsu coach. It's not enough. Like you need a full-on MMA coach, wrestling coach.
And who are your coaches at Tiger Muay Thai for like each specific area?
Well, with MMA, it's George and Frank Hickman, and that's kind of it. Like,
and Tiger's it's getting quite. They're definitely on the map, I would say, in the past, especially in the past 2-3 years with Valentina, Petr Yang, Volkanovski. I mean, it's working there. Why do you, I mean, I have my thoughts on why I think it works, especially being in Thailand, but why do you think Tiger Muay Thai is so special and they're pumping out all these champions right now?
They have good coaching. They have a good system with it. And it's like talent going to bring talent.
Yeah.
You know, talent, recognized talent is just how it is.
Yeah, I was kind of like, my idea as well is like, when you think of places, let's say American top team in Florida or Alpha Male in Sacramento. And again, I am not an MMA fighter, but I'm trying to look at it from the outside. I'm assuming that Tiger Muay Thai has everything on the street. I mean, you have your food, you have your housing, the facility itself has everything you need, and the beach is 20 minutes away. So when you're not running, let's say you're not driving around the city going to train jujitsu here, going to train kickboxing here, trying to get back home to eat. It seems like a lot of these gyms, let's say in the US, you're running around half the time instead of just kind of being able to focus. Do you believe that's true in terms of like building champions and helping yourself become a better fighter?
Yes, 100%. Like it's so simple. You jump on your scooter and you are training 10 minutes. Boom, you're home.
No traffic.
Yeah, boom, you're home. You can stop and eat on the way, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
That's why people want to do training camps here. But a lot changing now too, because it's getting more expensive here. It's not cheap here anymore.
In terms of like rent and cost of living and food.
Yeah. The prices are going up. Now they went back down in a bad way, but yeah, that's what.
Do you think there would be like another location that it could move to in Thailand, like where it could be a bit cheaper? I mean, besides going out to, let's say, Isan or something.
No, not right now, because with flights available to Phuket too.
Yeah,
that's the main thing too. It's a lot of direct flights internationally to Phuket.
Yeah, it just makes it easy.
Yeah, it's just easier, and everything is already built here.
Yeah, even these places like Hua Hin, I mean, even to get there, it's not so simple.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you got to fly into Bangkok, drive 3-4 hours, and
yeah.
And what about Bangkok training alone, or is it just more? It's good for the mind being in Phuket because of that island life.
Yeah, I don't want to live in a big city. I'm from the country. Like I couldn't live in Bangkok.
Yeah,
I think Bangkok have maybe a stronger like MMA community that trains MMA. But here in Phuket, it's more foreigners.
And have you done any other training around Thailand? Like, let's just joining a gym. I don't know, because you had a week off and you're up in Bangkok, or have you you're always at Tiger doing the majority of your training there?
Yeah, I do some pad work at some Thai gyms here and there, and that's if I know a trainer that's maybe moved or something like that, then I got around a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, I do.
Like some of the gyms down in Rawai, like Powerhouse.
Yeah, Powerhouse. There now they have a great facility and good trainers.
Yeah, and it's probably a bit closer for you as well.
Yeah, it's close. It's walking distance from where I live.
Ah, okay. Oh, there's a good little there. It's a vegan restaurant. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I have Dan. Do you know DN White is asking a request here to join the live? Do you know him?
Do we know him? I don't know.
Do you know him, Glenn?
Who?
DN White.
DN White. Yeah, I know him.
You know him?
Yeah, but he's not. He's not
a good guy. Should we accept the request?
We should, but I don't think he's gonna show his face because it's not made for camera. That's the problem. Like, he's not gonna show his face.
I don't even know if we can get his face on. That's what we were trying to figure out. We want to next time we want to be able to immediately like have him on the screen.
He's saying here it's Mad Glenn, isn't the UFC?
No, we don't want to see his face. Like, I'm telling you.
Well, we need to figure out next time how to get him on, so at least we can get him on the TV. We'll do that on the next podcast. We're trying to figure it out yesterday. It's not so easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But we'll have send some questions, and maybe in a bit we'll drop some bombs on them. See what happens. So where were we? We were talking about training at Rawai and places like Powerhouse. Are there any other gyms? No, and before I touch on that, being a sponsored fighter at Tiger Muay Thai, is that something they kind of tell you to not talk too much about, or how does that work?
Yeah, you don't want to. You can't really promote at gyms. Like, it's not really fair. If you're getting free train, and I would always promote Tiger because it is the best MMA gym. You're not gonna find a better
Yeah.
MMA gym here. You have the best coaches. Like, it's no doubt about that. But if I want to go do Muay Thai somewhere else a little bit, hit some pads, fuck, that's up to me.
That they're okay with that. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but if they're not, come tell me.
Yeah. And how does it, like, being a sponsored fighter, let's say for Tiger Muay Thai, how does that work? They're sponsoring you in terms of like, you can come here, you can train, they give you housing, they give you food. How does that work? Because I'm sure a lot of people, especially let's say that are not actually MMA fighters, they don't truly understand what sponsored fighter completely encompasses.
Just looked like I took a long time to think of that one, but I just had to have some water. But yeah, I just have free training. I don't have housing or meal plan or anything like that. I just free training, and I never ask for anything more, and I don't want any more.
And you have full access to the facility as well if you want to go in anytime and do what you need.
Full access to like everything, and yeah, that's all I need. I live out in Hawaii, so
yeah, I mean it's still for you to go to the gym. What, it's 15 minutes or so?
Yeah, 10-15 minutes.
10-15 minutes. Yeah. And now with the rainy season and the motorbike, it's not so convenient all the time.
It's not.
And what bike are you driving now?
NMAX from Nina's car.
NMAX from Nina's car.
Yeah.
I think I saw. Where did I see? I think I saw Khalil Roundtree repping them too.
Was he? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
No, they're good.
And they gave, and is it the NMAX 150?
55, I think.
155.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good for the island. See, you'd find here like half the time, like I would say the 150s are most comfortable.
Yeah, they are like
you don't need a 300 cc.
No, I don't. You don't need one. When you buy yourself, a 155 is good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I was looking on Facebook for I saw a T-Max 300, and it's just like, it's so unnecessary for the island.
It is.
And I was looking at one, the PCX 150s as well.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, it's when it rains here, and a lot of people aren't aware that, like, especially if it hasn't rained for 2 months, and then it rains, all that oil comes up, and it's basically like a skating rink out there.
Yeah, it is.
You don't want some like 50 cc, 100 cc, little kicker.
Yeah. And especially if you're over 5 foot tall, then like it gets uncomfortable on the small ones.
Yeah. Have you had any, knock on wood? My God. Any accidents here?
I haven't had a single accident. I've been driving in Thailand for almost 10 years, and I never had an accident. Okay,
me too. Same.
So I'm kind of.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx that either.
No, fuck that.
No. Yeah, it's quite safe. If you're comfortable driving the motorbike, it's quite safe.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't drive like a lunatic.
Yeah, but you can't drive too safe. You can't be like.
No.
You gotta like hang with the traffic. You gotta like find the flow.
What would you say is the difference between, let's say, you were driving motorbikes in Finland as well?
Yeah, I was driving motorbikes.
And what's the difference, like, in terms of the mentality that you need to have here?
Here you just need to have, like, you need to drive with a little bit of balls. Like, you need to just fucking go sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you can't like trying to like hesitate. You just gotta go. In Finland, it's different mentality. But now when I come back home to Finland, I drive with the same mentality. It works because everyone just holding back because nobody want to crash. But here, like, they don't give a fuck. Like.
Yeah, I find I don't know, I can't remember who told me this, but my advice is don't even use your mirrors. Don't ever look back. Just like, this is your peripheral vision.
That's not my advice. Oh, use your mirror. I use your helmet.
Yeah, use your helmet, but I mean, I never like do this.
No, never do that. I use the mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, use the mirrors, but don't be turning your head around, like, because you never know what's happening in front of you. They just slam the brakes out of nowhere.
Yeah. If you turn your head, then it's like
it's game over.
Yeah, it's game over. You gotta just use your mirrors
and don't trust someone with a signal on, because they might not be turning.
No,
you don't know. Yeah. Have you? I learned this about a year ago. When you drive by somebody and they have their signal on, and they obviously they shouldn't have it on, as we all forget to turn it off sometimes. And you drive by them, you do this.
Yeah.
You've seen this. I had someone do this like a year ago. I go, what the hell is going on here?
But that's what you do, I think, everywhere in the world.
Really? I never saw that until, I've been in Asia about 11 years driving motorbikes. I only saw it about like a year ago in Thailand. They're just kind of like warning you, like, hey, turn your damn blinker off.
Yeah, but you live in China, they probably don't even have a blinker there, do they?
In China, well, first in Shenzhen, I was one of the last guys in all of the whole city of Shenzhen to have a gas scooter until I was one of the last ones the cops finally got me. And then it went to electric scooters. So then when you get to the electric ones, they're like 120 volt. Like I had like a fake Ducati. They're horrible. Like, cause the voltage is so strong that like there's no gas. So when you touch it, it like jolts. Once you get going smoothly, it's okay. But, they're super sketchy. But the gas ones in China was more like sidewalk driving.
Yeah.
Like if there was a light, nobody cared, and they would see sidewalks, so everyone's flying around on the sidewalks.
Crazy.
So you were in Shenzhen and you were in Shanghai, and you were.
Xi'an,
I saw
Kunming.
How was that experience? Did you go all by yourself? Did you go with a team?
I've been to China a few times myself because I go on a lot of these fights myself too. Because it's just easier with visa stuff. Like you don't have to worry about someone else. So you just pick some guy there to corner me, and that's it.
And was that with Rebel FC?
With Rebel and with WLF, with AFC ones in China, and who else did we have? Rain in Power. That was just one event going.
And did you enjoy China, or was it pretty quick? Like, were you in and out within like a couple days, or?
I've been on both. I've been like a week. I've been a couple of days, but I start liking China more and more. First, I was like, "Oh fuck this! I just want to go home."
Yeah.
But then I've been to some like nice places. Like I said,
Shenzhen.
Yeah, Shenzhen. I like that city. It's kind of because it's a little bit more modern, a little bit new.
Yeah,
they speak a little bit, or they understand a little bit of English. Like
they speak a little more English. I mean, at least it's close to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So you can just cross the border and get a taste of like the Western life.
So it's a lot better.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Shenzhen's a cool city, but
then the food in Kunming.
Yeah,
that was the best food.
I've never. What was it like? I've never been to Kunming.
It was a lot of noodles, like beef noodles.
Yeah,
beef and noodles.
That's it.
Best. That's what I ate for like 4 days, I think.
Yeah, it's China. I mean, because it's such a large country, like there's so many different food options there as well. I've never had Kunming. Shenzhen is kind of like. The food's a bit because they used to be quite poor there. It was just a fishing village.
Yeah, I heard
so the stuff that they can eat off of, it's a lot of like vegetables from like the lake, like water mushrooms and different types of roots, sea roots and stuff like that. It's a bit funky.
Yeah, it
doesn't sound that great. No,
doesn't go on my menu.
No. So would you? I guess now with travel bans, it's hard. But do you have plans or intentions to go back to China, or to China, or where could your next fight maybe be? Or it's just too early to tell?
It's too early to tell. I got too much things going on now, and probably not China because it's going to be a while before.
Yeah, I don't think they're opening up
until we're getting any visas there.
Yeah, they. I had a 10-year China visa, and then they canceled them all.
Really?
Everybody. So if you had a visa to China, mine was a business visa. They're amazing. You could get them like a couple years ago, and you pay like a couple $100.
Yeah, I heard that.
Boom, and then you have a business visa. It's just to allow people to freely travel in and out.
Yeah.
But then when the C word hit, we don't know how YouTube bans us if we say the wrong word.
Really?
But they basically after the epidemic, they canceled everybody's visas. There's actually, I had about 4 friends living here that were essentially like, we had a little WeChat group or WhatsApp group going. They were just refugees here. They were here for a full year, and they all had business in China, and they couldn't get back in. They're all living in Surin. Some of them had kids, and even there's a family here that still hasn't gone back in.
Yeah, I got a couple of friends that traveling to Hong Kong for pilot jobs. So they're doing 21 days quarantine there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In a room, like.
Well, no, have you seen the one by the Hong Kong airport? It's just like a giant warehouse. And they put dividers.
Yeah, but they haven't been that bad. It's been like a tiny room with a bed.
21 days.
21 days.
My God.
I would lose my shit.
Yeah, and I heard now if you get the vaccine, it's like 7 days, but I don't know. After I left China in 2016 and came here, I went back once, and that was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an easy. It's a really cool place to visit and travel, but to live, it's really difficult, especially if you don't speak Chinese, and the food as well, and the pollution is crazy.
But it's the same thing with Thailand.
Yeah,
It looks amazing, but living here is not as easy. It's easy, but not as easy as it like.
depending, I guess. Phuket makes it easy.
Yeah, Phuket.
Yeah.
But people that come here, especially fighters too, they think it's gonna be easy there, but no.
I think it's just because for me personally, I lived in Taiwan. I saw you fought in Taiwan.
Yeah.
I used to live in Taiwan as well. I lived there for about a year. I was in a city south of Taipei called Hsinchu. Lived there for a year.
Yeah, no fucking idea.
Yeah, but Taipei, everyone just knows Taipei.
Yeah.
And I saw that's where you fought the Korean.
Yeah, I fought a Korean.
Junyoung Park.
Yeah, I fought 2 Koreans there.
In the same week, or you
No.
went 2 separate times?
Yeah, 2 separate times.
2 separate times. Okay. I watched that fight last night. It was an interesting fight. This guy, I mean, he was quite powerful. Do you want to talk a little bit about that fight? What your mentality was going in, your game plan, maybe what happened?
There was not much game plan. It was a short notice fight, just like 10 days too.
Hmm.
But I just heard that his opponent have pulled out, so I called the promoter and told him like I take the fight because I need the money. Or like, yeah, I need the money, but I felt like, yeah, I could probably fight.
Okay.
Because I'd been training pretty okay, but yeah, had a lot of weight to cut. So that was
What was the weight limit? 185?
yeah, 185
So what were you cutting, about 15?
kg.
Oh, pounds.
Pounds, no.
Oh, and kg. So you're fighting
in pounds.
or kg, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
kg is probably easier for me. I was probably around 100 when I took the fight. Or
100 kg.
97, around 97 when I took the fight, because that's my
Walking weight.
walking weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, about fight week maybe 12 kg.
12 kg.
Yeah, but it's not that much. Like for me, it's kind of normal. I cut a lot of weight. It wasn't an issue. It was struggling, but it wasn't an issue. It was just.
So naturally, you hold a lot of water.
I do hold a lot of water naturally, and I can cut.
And then you can.
Yeah, always been. That's why I fought at welterweight too. Like I could just do it.
So at welterweight, when you're cutting down there, what's that like? You're cutting like 15 kg or
No,
more?
because I was even heavier then. I was when I started my last fight in Finland. I think I started at maybe 107 kg.
107.
Yeah,
With a 6-pack or no?
with no 6-pack. It wasn't even close to a 6-pack. It was just a big pack. Yeah, no, I was just big. Yeah, just came back from Finland.
Yeah,
Christmas,
you go. Oh,
everything,
okay,
yeah.
you had the Christmas pounds on.
Yeah, and then, but I was younger then. My body just allowed me to do things that.
I think at that age, it's okay.
At that age, it's
Yeah.
okay. Once you're like a little bit older, then it's
After 30, things
Yeah,
it's not so easy.
fuck it.
Yeah. So you had a quick 10 days notice. You had to cut about 10, 12 kg
Yeah,
for that fight. And then
fight week. Yeah,
was there much preparation for that during it? Like, were you when you're preparing for a fight, like, in any aspect, are you watching a lot of tape on the guy, or are you kind of just doing your own thing and focusing on your own skills?
it's so short time to like just gotta focus on what you can do, and it just gotta go in there and hope you fucking can do it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, and I just train because it's not much else to do. Like, you notice that when gyms are closed here, like, what else you got to do?
Yeah, in Thailand, I mean, I've stayed at the Tiger Muay Thai street about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of staying on that street or nearby. Yeah. There's nothing else to do.
Oh.
So you get up at, I remember getting up at like 7:30 or 6 in the morning, training at like 7:38. You kind of eat, you have a nap, you might, go for a massage, and then you train again at like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And like, it's a job. That's the day.
Yeah. So it's kind of easy. So I'm always in kind of shape.
Yeah.
But I just got hit too much in the first round. Like, I just couldn't judge. After the first round, I didn't know where I was anymore. I have no memory after that.
It looked.
I didn't even know where I was. I got him down at one point, but when I got him down, I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh shit. But I knew in the end that like I just gotta fucking get him somehow. I just knew I just trying to get him like, but
Yeah, he came out. It looked like he came out swinging, and he just kept throwing straights down the middle.
yeah, that's what it did.
Yeah, and just kind of just holding that. And I think I saw in your corner you're there with George Hickman.
Yeah, George Hickman and Ryan, my old friend from Team Quest.
Okay.
So I usually bring him with me because he's always my cornerman. Like, because he's not an MMA fighter or anything or an MMA coach, but he can hold pads and he knows what I want to hear and he knows what I need. So I usually bring him.
Yeah. So it looked like I wasn't sure, and I think the announcer said it too, that after the first round, your game plan changed a bit. It looks like you were just trying to shoot and get the takedown.
No, after the first round, I got to sit down a little bit and maybe my brain came back for a while.
Yeah.
That's maybe you come out a little smarter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got a little bit, but once you start getting tagged again, like you just don't know where you are.
And is that, maybe you can explain that a bit for people that don't understand. When that happens, like around like that first round, you were getting pieced up, and then like when you come back from that round, you're saying you completely forget the rest of the fight.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Because after you get hit that hard too, like your brain takes a lot of damage. So like you just got to do something to protect itself. I don't know what it does, but you can't it's hard to judge any distance, so you just keep getting tagged and making it worse. Because distance, I don't know why it gets so hard to judge, but
to judge like the depth, maybe the depth perception.
Yeah, after you've been hit or after you've been like knocked down, when you get up, it's hard to see where the other guy is. So I just kept getting fucking punched.
And is that normal for you as a fighter? I watched about 5 of your fights, and nothing like what happened. That fight was pretty intense, but you never dropped. You stay on your feet. Is that normal for you? Your chin is quite strong in that sense?
No, normally I get dropped. Like I get dropped once, and after that I'm kind of back. And after that, I just stay kind of solid. But I just need to take that first drop.
Yeah. No, you didn't drop that at all.
I didn't. But I was probably like pretty wobbly there for a while.
I think at the very end there was the bell kind of was lucky. It was a bit wobbly at the end.
Yeah.
Of the first round.
Yeah, it could have been so. And yeah.
And what about for fighters, especially being hit like that? Do you guys do like a CT scan after? Is there any follow-up checkups like throughout your career to make sure everything's okay?
No, I don't. It's no CT checkups in like these promotions. You can't, because that you're paying that out of your pocket.
Yeah, but I mean, have you looked into that before? Or is this something that crosses your mind?
I have, and it crosses my mind because I have taken a lot of damage. But also after a fight like that, after that fight, I didn't spar. Not even for my next fight. I didn't spar a single session before my next fight.
Just to stay safe.
Just to stay safe, and then for my next fight again, then I spar again. But if I've been punched, I'm not doing anything that like create any kind of like movement. Like even running is it's impact.
Yeah,
like you got to stay away from that.
So how much high impact like training in general would you take off after a fight like that? Like 6 months or
after a fight like that? Yeah, probably.
But
I will probably fight, but I wouldn't actually train for a fight. But that's because what are you gonna do? The money's not gonna last you 6 months.
Yeah.
So you gotta fight again. It's nothing else to do. All the experts and like people on Twitter can say whatever they want.
Yeah. No, I mean there's also the reality.
Yeah, you gotta fight. That's your paycheck.
You gotta eat, right?
Yeah. There's no when I'm at my level 2 and where I'm from, like it's not that much sponsors that like get you through. Yeah. They don't cover that much of your life. You gotta fight.
And that's something I've been a pretty big MMA fan, I would say, since about 2012. So I'm fairly well versed in it. But what I was trying to understand that's even new to me is understanding the journey of someone getting into MMA and how that works from, let's say, your local promotions to maybe your bigger promotions like Rebel FC. I mean, as high as one in Bellator and UFC, and that's something else. But any other fighters that are, let's say, still maybe they're still on their local promotion, is there a certain like pathway or journey that they, almost like a recipe that if you do this and you do that, or you need to meet the right people, that it can take you to this higher promotion. Is there a recipe behind that, or is there a lot of luck behind that? How does that work?
Yeah, there is a recipe. I definitely didn't use the recipe, but there is, like, especially today, you need to build a social media, and you need a good manager.
Okay.
And yeah, you need to be talented, and then you just need to find a good coach, and they should get you where you want to go.
But I mean, you started kind of before MMA was MMA what it is today.
Yeah, when I started like training, we still had headbutts legal in Finland in MMA. So it wasn't really.
Yeah, it's not as well, fine tuned as it is today.
It was valetudo back then, but MMA was different back. We didn't get paid much. Maybe I got 150 euros for my first fight.
Yeah.
And nowadays, yeah.
So if you could go back and tell, Glenn in 2009, would that be the advice you would give them? Find the right coach, find the right trainer, find the right manager from the beginning?
No, it wouldn't make a difference if I would go back and tell myself. I would just do it my way anyway.
Okay.
But if I would tell someone else, I would, get a good manager and get a good coach and start building a social media.
Because even let's be honest, social media, pretty much Facebook really opened up 2008, 2009, and social media has only really taken off in the past, 4 years?
Yeah, you didn't need to have like fighters page and things like
No.
that. Like nobody had that.
Yeah.
But it was just different. You weren't fighting to put photos up on Instagram or things like that either. If I had a fight on Saturday, I went to work on Monday. So it was like a different life back then.
There's no like real protocol.
Yeah.
And okay. And your last fight I saw, it was this guy Riddick. I think you beat him in the first round.
Shannon Rich.
This was that in Shanghai?
No, it was in Moscow.
Sorry, Moscow. My fault. Got some notes mixed up. But so in Moscow, but that was a pretty quick fight. It seems like you took him down pretty much, and you did the calf slicer.
The calf slicer, yeah. He tried to take me down from the bell, and then I just got one hook in, and I was gonna start choking him, but like he had a big ass neck on him, so I couldn't get my arms in, and I saw that submission was there, and I just started laughing. When I had the foot, I just knew I had it. It's just one of these things I get once here or there.
The position was, it's quite a rare submission to get in an MMA.
It is, but it's probably like the second or the third submission I learned.
Okay.
In my life. So
it's almost like you have a triangle on the calf.
Yeah.
And then you're pulling it down.
Yeah. It's like a Sambo move.
Yeah, because then I saw you flip the back, and it was so quick for him to tap. Yeah. Like,
when you get a foot there, you just know you have it. So it's just like, and I was laughing. It's a photo there too, and I grabbed the foot.
There's probably only a handful of let's say calf slicers that have probably been.
I needed that win too, because a couple of 3 weeks before I was in Senegal.
Yeah, I saw that fight.
I lost there, and I was like, but I knew I was fighting again in 3 weeks.
But that Senegal fight, I was watching that one. You were just because you were winning the fight.
I was winning.
You're on top of him, but it looked like you just got caught.
I just got caught, and that was it.
Yeah,
I didn't think he had it, but he just had it.
And it was strange because he didn't. If you were watching the replay closely, he didn't lock up the triangle. No, like he didn't overlap and pull it down. But it looked like he was just cranking on your head.
He gets that. He got probably like 3 wins on that way, and I knew about it, but I didn't think he can beat that. So.
Yeah, because you had top position. You weren't full mount, but you're in the guard. You're on top of him. It looked like you had control, and then it was quite quick.
Yeah, it was.
Like 5-10 seconds, not even before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was promotion is the Ares, ARES.
Yeah.
So I was reading, this is like African European type of fight promotion. Is this still going on today?
They're probably on hold now because of COVID, but they were doing their next show in Belgium.
Okay.
Because they wanted to do shows in France because of the legalization, but something happened with them.
Because it just opened up in France.
Yeah, and then COVID hit, so it's kind of hard doing any events right now.
Yeah, because your last fight was January 2020. So
We have a question here, Glenn. If you could choose, which promotion would you choose to fight?
Pride.
Pride. It's your favorite.
Ah.
That's cool.
is that more for the history and being able to fight? Like if you went to Japan and
Yeah, because of the rule set and everything, like the show behind it, and
Yeah.
the walkouts and everything, the introduction and how they like treat you. Just
but Pride is it's not around
no, it's right.
Oh.
Rising. It's not the same, but
Rice. Yes.
that would be cool too.
It's where the MMA was born, right?
Yeah. With
Kind of.
with Fedor was huge in Pride.
Yeah.
I think even Cormier was at Pride. No, he was Strike Force.
Yeah.
Strike Force.
Yeah, but a lot of legends came from Pride.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah. Noguero.
Nogueira brothers
yeah.
and Phil Baroni.
Yeah.
Who else do we have?
Grace.
Yeah, Mark Coleman,
Mark Coleman. Yeah.
Randleman,
Randleman.
Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, and they all came from Pride and then came to UFC.
Yeah, and they had some like, because UFC bought Pride, so they did some like cross promotion there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in the days, but
So it's Ryzen.
Yeah.
That would be one of your preferred. They only do the events in Japan.
yeah, they only do events in Japan, and they did a cross promotion with Bellator too. Was it a couple of years ago?
Okay.
Yeah.
And do a lot of people for those Japanese promotions, let's say Ryzen, would they be training in Japan, or they're going to be training like say in Thailand, or are there facilities in Japan for that?
Right now, I think they're just training in Japan. I'm not really sure what they're doing, but they're doing a lot of kickboxing fights too. And Japan still got high level kickboxing.
And it's probably quite expensive to live in Japan as well and train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Japanese fighters mostly do their camps at home. Like, you don't see a lot of them coming out here.
They stay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess I haven't seen many Japanese
A
in.
couple of them come out with the Tiger, but
Yeah.
very few compared to like how many it is there.
Maybe more comfortable as well, because most
Yeah.
Japanese, they don't speak English. I mean, not to say they all don't, but I've been to Japan 5 years ago, and yeah, not many people speak English over
Yeah,
there.
no, but they're so friendly.
Yeah, they're so friendly, and
Yeah.
the food's amazing.
Oh yeah, it is.
My God, especially the quality. I was in Tokyo and then Sapporo up in the north. And, oh, the food is amazing because you get a lot of, especially up in the north. That's where this Kobe beef is coming from and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, unreal. What about your thoughts on like one championship? Is that have they reached out to you ever or?
Yeah, we talked to them already when I came to Thailand back in the days, 2012, 13. That's when they starting up, and they were signing everyone. So I got offered some contract then, but it was just not, the contract wasn't in my favor. So
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in it. There've been some talks here and there, but yeah, it's a lot of other stuff going on with 1-2. If you, just read the news.
Yeah.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows there.
And who knows if it's these promotions, especially like Bellator and One, if what's the word? Steroid use, let's say. It's like I believe in those. It's a bit.
Yeah, with drug testing and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's not the same.
In Bellator, it's just depending on commission, like where they fight too.
Ah, okay.
Some of them, like when they're fighting in the US, the commission is gonna come in and test. That's just how it is there. But in One, there's no commission. Like you can't. They're just running. You can't have drug testing if you don't have a commission. That's like it doesn't make.
Well, they don't do the weight cutting. That's one
They
of
do the weight cutting. They just check it in a different way. It's
like a percentage of your
it's hydration test.
hydration
And you're allowed to weigh in at a certain weight, or like above the limit, like above the official limit. So, but there's still weight cuts.
Yeah.
It didn't end weight cuts. Maybe it's not as harsh weight cuts anymore, but still weight cuts there. They didn't take that away. But
So what is the next? What is your plan? What are the next steps for you, like in terms of your professional career in MMA?
My next step is a little bit unsure yet, but I'm going to Australia in June.
Yeah,
and set up there for a while.
Yeah, because you have the baby on the way.
Yeah, I have a baby on the way, so I gotta go I gotta go there and I set myself, I set the baby and family up, and start coaching a little bit.
Coaching on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Are there's some gym? I used to. I lived there 2008.
Yeah.
But are there a lot of MMA gyms open there?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, since 2008, heaps of them come.
Oh wow.
And MMA is growing fast in Australia.
There are they have the AFC as one of the promotions. Do they have a few other bigger promotions that are going on?
Yeah, AFC, Eternal, Hex, Urban Fight Night, and they have a lot of local promotions too going. So it's not. They have and they have events happening right now because
they're still running.
Yeah, they're running now because they closed the border pretty early, so they didn't have they have live audience at like footy, and
especially on the Gold Coast, there's a lot of venue options. I mean, they even have a casino out there as well, and I'm sure they could run something out of that. I think it's Broad Beach.
Yeah,
Broad Beach. Yeah.
Usually Eternal, that promotion, they broadcast it on UFC Fight Pass too. They do the shows out in Gold.
And does that? And I'll just jump into that point as well. Those promotions that are on the UFC Fight Pass, is that a good, let's say, stepping stone to be seen? Like, for example, does UFC give favor to promotions that are on their Fight Pass compared to other ones that are not, let's say, from a scouting perspective?
Yeah, I think it makes it easier, like, for them to get access to that, like maybe that fighter. But I still think you need to perform. Like you need something big. You not just go there and grind out a 3-round decision and you think, oh, I want to fight on UFC or Fight Pass. Like it's not enough. Like you need to do something big. Otherwise.
But doesn't that affect the way that you're going to prepare and go into the fight? It's like, okay, so for example, the fight that you had in Taiwan, you came out swinging. And I'm like, he just wants to get the fucking knockout.
Yeah.
But probably if let's say you're already in those promotions, you might not fight that way because you're there. So like, do you find that pressure affects the way that you'll take on your next fight because you're looking for like a crazy knockout for your highlight reel?
No, if you're letting that pressure get to you and you start going out looking for highlight reels, you're not gonna get very far. Like you're gonna stop because that pressure gonna be on you. Like once you like hit like 4-0, 5-0, everyone sees you as a prospect. Like everyone wants you like to do something big. Yeah. If you want to do something big, you got to do it again because everyone expects that. But you can't let that get to you. You just like got to stay on like your own track. If you want to go far, you're just gonna like stay on track and stick to game plans. Like coaches, they don't care if you get a highlight reel. They just want you to win. They don't care how you win.
Yeah.
Just fucking go and win. So whatever they say, like. Yeah.
You're still trying to at least get the win. So when you go to the Gold Coast, do you have some potential gyms set up where you think you'll be training out of when you get there, and even from there, like maybe your ideal fight promotion, say plan to start fighting there as well? Do you have any plan around those lines?
Yeah, I'm gonna be working with CMBT.
Okay,
that's out there. And with fight promotion and stuff like that, I don't really care. Like, I just need to fight something. Like, I need something. I need to compete. I need to fight. I just need that drive. Yeah. So I don't really care. Like, I just need to fight something. But then, depending on my time schedule and stuff like that, how much this baby is keeping me up at night, I gotta see.
Yeah,
like,
I think
when can I fight next? Like, is it different?
Yeah, your hands are going to be tied a bit for a year.
No, I don't want to give it a year. Like that's kind of too long. I still want to fight like as soon as I can get like proper training going again and getting.
And how do you define proper training? Like from an MMA athlete, like could you kind of explain that? Like what is proper training, and even beyond and above and beyond, like your own expectations? Should you be getting up at 5 a.m, running? How does like what would be the best type of training performance, or even your day-to-day? What are you doing exactly?
That just depends on the athlete too. Like whether that is so individual, but you probably need 2 training sessions a day, 5 days a week, maybe 1 session on Saturday. I need to be able to stay consistent and not be like just overtraining all the time, training like smashing 3-4 sessions a day and just being tired. We're staying consistent, and you're getting like proper, like good quality rounds in, and you're feeling good. And you're not just like half injured and that, and you're still getting your strength working, you're getting conditioning working.
Do you use any technology to monitor that? Like, I know there's some technology out there that you can wear to bed and then it can tell you your stress levels and how much energy you have that day and how hard you should be training.
No, I don't. Because when I say I don't believe in them, it's just my opinion. I don't believe in them. Like, I think you need to learn to understand like your body too. Like, you just trust in these apps. Like, this app saying I'm tired, I should rest. What if you're not? What if like you need to learn, like, and now I'm so old, I like overreached so many times. I felt like, oh fuck, I need a rest day now. Like, I have maybe an active recovery day. Like, you need to learn how to feel that. Yeah, you can follow your heart rate and stuff like the resting heart rates, but don't just trust that app saying you're tired or app saying you're not tired. Like, you need to listen to your body and learn.
Do you think some of this technology in these apps are becoming too empowering on the fighters? Like, they're listening to them too much? Do you see people in your gym that start, they're too dialed into, let's say, the technology?
Yeah, I see too many gadgets, too many focus on that instead of like learn how to fight. Like, that's why you don't need to learn how to like all these things, and they put in too much energy into stuff that they don't need yet. Maybe for when athletes get older too, maybe they need more. Maybe they need more like gadgets and stuff like that. But for younger athletes, they just need to learn to understand their own body, and they need to learn how to fight and get good at what they should be doing.
And when you have a day, like, it could be even midweek, like a Wednesday or a Thursday, and if you just feel like it's a day of recovery, do you just take it off based on how your body feels that morning?
Yeah, or I do some lighter sessions. I can go into like a boxing sessions, which is it's not easy, but it's still like easy on the body. You go in and do like boxing technique for an hour in the mornings. And yeah, that's been a good class, especially at Tiger, just coming in and do that. And you take maybe the rest of the day off, or just go for a longer walk or something. Yeah. Outdoors.
And do you do any like ice baths or any type of this recovery? Or I know they have the Apex Center down there in Rawai, where it's the what is it, cryogenic, like the spray freeze.
Yeah, they do, but I don't really use. I use the ice bath here and there, but I don't overuse it. Like every day or something. Like, I go here and there when I really need it. You need to have like that one lifeline too. Like, if you start using something too much, it's like it doesn't give you the same thing. You need to like save for the special occasions, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like with everything,
become too dependent on it as well.
But saunas I use weekly, and I'm from Finland too, so we have a sauna at our home.
And where there's saunas at Tiger Muay Thai, or where are you using the saunas?
Usually around Rawai, somewhere close to home, just
Rawai. Because there's that new. Have you been to the facility? It's in Rawai. I think it's called Fresca or something. It's a massive new facility.
I haven't been there.
Yeah, I went there in October. It's got not an ice bath, but a cold bath, a mineral bath, steam room, sauna, and it's this really strange room where you go in and the wall is ice.
Oh yeah, like an ice room.
Yeah, but it's not really that cold.
No, but yeah, I've seen them around here in Asia.
Unless you like, I still don't understand how those work. Like, what do you lay on the ice? I mean,
yeah, I don't really understand either.
That one I didn't get, but definitely they don't have an ice bath, but it's a cold bath. It's still probably, I don't know, 15 degrees. So it's cold. It's definitely cold. But especially I get knee problems anytime. I put on about 10 kg in a couple of years, just being a fat ass, whatever. But I find it helps with like joint pain and whatnot.
Yeah.
And inflammation.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And we were talking a little bit earlier. So the athletic let's say, in your genetics, it also runs in the family. You're saying your brother is the head captain of the Finnish national soccer, or we'll call it football team.
Yeah, my brother is he's a professional soccer player. He plays in Greece right now, and yeah, he's the captain for the national team.
And what's his name in case people want to look him up online?
Tim Sparv.
Okay.
Tim, yeah.
And
Tim.
If Finland, like, let's say, goes to the Olympics or the World Cup, he's playing for them.
If Finland goes to the World Cup. We just made it to the Europeans.
Okay.
So that's kind of a big thing for us. So let's not put the World Cup there yet.
No, not yet. And he's younger than you, or?
No, he's older.
He's older than you?
Yeah.
So do you have any other brothers or sisters? I mean, it seems like the athletic gene runs in your family. Or is your parents or your grandparents, were they athletes as well?
Yeah, both my parents. My dad played soccer. My mom did track and field.
Okay.
My sister, when she was younger, she did track and field, and I have an older brother too. So he tried a lot of sports.
And everyone's training sports.
Everyone is kind of athletic, and yeah, my brother too. Like, he could just pick any sport he wanted, and he would win professional.
And you're from the small town Oravas.
Yes.
Oravas. I can't do the Finnish accent. Oravas. Now, this small town, for generations, your family has come from this area.
Yeah, from my mom's side.
And what were they doing, let's say, for the past 50 years? I read a lot it's predominantly like fur trading, and there's some manufacturing as well, and forestry.
Yeah, they've been in forestry farmers.
Forestry farmer.
Yeah, some fur trading jobs. Because for a long time it was like the biggest.
And is that still what type of fur?
Fox fur and mink.
Okay.
And because of what's been happening now too, because in Denmark, which was the other Nordic countries that allowed like fox farming and fur farming, they had to put them all down because they were catching COVID and they were spreading COVID. So they had to put all
the animals were.
Yeah.
The animals were catching COVID.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was tested and proven.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think they had to put them down, and now Denmark banned fur farming. And in Finland too, a lot of them is shutting down because it hasn't been that good business because China started making their own fur.
Ah, okay. So how has this affected your entire, like, your town over the past 10 years? Have you seen what have you seen changed exactly?
It was a lot more jobs before there.
Yeah.
It's like we had house factory, it was a lot of jobs, we had a hotel, but all that, you don't know if it's because of probably because fox farming like brought in that much money, or like fur farming brought in that much money, that it was a huge impact. But it's also, it is. There's a lot of resistance against it too.
I mean, from the, like, say, the animal activists as well. Yeah. I'm sure you get,
because it doesn't look pretty.
Yeah, no, I understand. And how does that fur farming work? It's these farms, they're being bred for that, or
they're just bred.
You want some water or anything? We can get some.
Yeah, I can have some.
Yeah,
water, please.
It's okay. We can switch. Yeah, so they grab some water too. It's is the land of your town? It's quite large. Like it's farming land, and then at these fox farms, these people are they're breeding the animals for the fur. Is it? Yeah. I'm assuming it has to be somewhat humane in a sense.
Not really, but I'm still not against it because business is business. Like, what?
I mean, how these people also have to survive. So I mean,
business is business. Like, and people are gonna get their fur no matter what. If we stop doing it or not, like they're gonna do it in China, and that's not humane.
Yeah, they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, someone's gonna making the fur. Like, it's just how it is. It's a luxury item. Like, it's always gonna be like requested.
Were you involved in it at any point when you were a kid growing up, or even you said you went back there and you were doing some work as well?
No, I never really had any jobs in fox farming or like fur farming, but yeah, a lot of my friends did. Some of my friends had, their parents had farms, so yeah, I've seen a lot, been around them a lot.
Yeah, and there must be I'm assuming a lot of hunting up there as well.
Yeah, I started hunting when I was younger, but these last years it's just. I haven't been home that much. Just haven't had time. So,
I mean, hunting is not. I mean, you go out for 2-3 days, and when you only got a couple weeks, you want to kind of see friends and family.
Yeah, so it's kind of time requesting.
Yeah, and what are you guys hunting up there? Is it primarily deer or
deer, elk, and kind of all kind of birds.
Okay, I'm okay. So, would you say like if shit hits the fan, is that somewhere you would go back? Would you stay? Would you be back in Finland immediately?
Yeah, if shit hits the fan, like, then you want to be able to like set something up. You need to be able to like get some guns on your hands and shit like that. And
but you could live off the land essentially there.
Yeah,
I mean,
you could.
Even with I saw you're quite close to the sea.
Yeah.
So I mean, are you fishing? Is it a fishing village as well?
Yeah. Fishing used to be bigger there. Now it's not that big anymore, but it's still like you can fish in the waters there.
Was that due to restrictions at fishing, or why? I mean, living so close to the sea, it would seem like it would still it would be a fishing village as well.
Yeah, but we don't. Yeah, we have some good fishes, but a lot of the fishing be restricted too.
Okay.
All the good fishing, but it's restricted. That's the problem.
What is now we were talking about it a bit earlier. A lot of people don't realize that it's especially from your area, it's actually Swedish is the predominant language, your mother tongue, correct?
Yeah. Swedish is my first language.
And then in that area, it's actually everybody is speaking Finnish, but it's still a smaller percentage. Or everybody speaking both languages, no matter?
In my area, then it's probably like 90% Swedish speaking, maybe 80. But then if I go to like next city, then it's maybe 50-50.
Okay, so is that more unique to your town?
It's usually like they're on the coastline towards Sweden.
Okay.
A little bit more Swedish speaking. But then when you go towards Russian, the eastern border, then it's
And you're saying that you can take a ferry from where you live right over to Sweden, and are these ferries, are they running often? I mean, I'm not picturing them like the Chalong Pier to Koh Phi Phi ferry size.
No, this is like kind of big ferries because it takes a lot of cars too. Cars and cargo goes on this ferry too. Yeah, it goes once a day, maybe sometimes twice a day. And you just take that one over. That's why I used to train there a lot over in Umeå.
Okay,
with those guys up there.
Oh, and this is more of it's 40 minutes south.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is the city where it's a bigger population. You said this one is about like 40,000-50,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So we want to talk just a little bit more about Thailand and your experience here. So now you've made the decision to go to Australia, but how hard was that decision to decide, okay, it's time for me to leave Thailand? And when did you kind of make that decision?
No, I knew I've been trying to leave Thailand for a while now, but I always get like sucked back in. Always like, oh, I'm done with it. But there hasn't been a lot of other options. Like, I didn't really know what I was gonna do. But and it's not hard choosing Australia because it almost is the only option I have if I want to have like some kind of life quality. Say that. Yeah, I could go back to Finland, but I would just be slaving 8 hours days and not really getting anything done for myself.
And what type of work were you doing there when you went back home? When did you leave after
I left
COVID?
in April last year.
April?
Yeah.
And you pretty much just came back November or December-ish?
Came back in February.
Yeah. Oh, already. I lose track of time.
Yeah.
February.
And I was a mechanic.
Yep.
Like lawnmowers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
that's just to kind of pay the bills and get by. And
it was just like to save up money.
Yeah.
To like get back to Thailand and trying to have like another go at it.
Yeah.
But
now you've decided pretty quickly just to.
Yeah, because now with everything closing again here too, and with travel restrictions that are still in order.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of looking good there for a while. They're gonna like.
It was looking good about a month ago, eh?
Yeah, it was looking good, but then shit just hit the fan again, and now I realize it could be a while before fighting. And if I leave Thailand too, I can't go back. I can't do 14 days again. Just.
Yeah. I mean, it's not cheap either. Like quarantine, what did you probably spent? What, 20 to 50,000 baht at least?
Yeah, because we we were allowed to share a room, so that was good. That saved a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a lot. It's expensive.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, there's quarantine here, but it's not cheap.
No.
Plus flights.
Plus everything you need to do before, like get the COVID testing. You hope it ain't cheap.
By the end, you're spending almost $5,000 US just to kind of to get in here.
And then when you hear like this shit happens.
Yeah, then it happened pretty quick because now even in Phuket, because Phuket I guess is a red zone.
Yeah.
Like so apparently when you're driving your motorbike, you need the mask.
Yeah, you do.
Hanging down here. Because if the police pull you over with it, and if you don't always have the mask, at least like kind of covering you, even on the motorbike, it's like 20,000 baht fine. No. Yeah, and apparently even if you go for I was doing some CrossFit last night. I'm not a huge CrossFit fan, but I need to lose some weight. So, and the gyms are close. Anyways, our trainer was like, we had to run with the mask under our chin here. She's like, she didn't want to get in trouble. She said, just because what's happening now is there's just people looking out just to kind of make a buck.
Yeah.
So it's a bit sketchy.
When you're exercising, you don't need a mask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during exercise, you don't.
Even if you go for a run.
Yeah, public places.
Ah,
even if you exercise. That's why like beaches, if you're on the beach, I count as exercise. That's why you don't need a mask there.
Ah, okay. We were told, and my mask at the end, I basically tossed in the garbage. It smelled like shit. Yeah.
Like you can't exercise and wear a mask. It doesn't make any sense. Like,
it doesn't work at all. Yeah, I don't think we have tonight. He's gonna try to go.
I'll try this time.
We need to do something because our gym here closed, and we were I was getting back into some Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu over at Sutai, and about to start up, and literally the day I'm like, all right, I'm going, close, finish. So nothing we could do.
Glenn, if you like to answer here,
let's take some questions. Yeah.
Yes, we have a few questions from our Instagram stories here. The live is already off. So the first question is from White. He asking if you condition your hair regularly?
Daily.
Daily.
Twice a day. Twice a day needs to put something in it.
It's definitely one of your friends.
Another question here is, what type of music do you like?
Like everything, but mostly some older rap, hip hop, R&B. But then I can crank out some Sweet Caroline too. It doesn't. Well,
I saw a lot of your fights. You come out to Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
I like him, but it just depends on my mood. Like I like rock. I like some metal. Like
I mean, I think it's the same for me.
Yeah, but mostly hip hop.
Yeah, 90s hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay, none of this new age.
No, I don't really like this new age.
I don't even know what it is. I don't know if I'm getting older or like I still like try to convince myself. I'm like, I can't just be a crazy, getting older type guy, but it doesn't even make sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
It just sounds like a bunch of mumble horseshit. Anyways.
There's nothing behind it.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare that to like Tribe Called Quest, I mean, Talib Kweli, Black Star, Mos Def, Gangstar, like there's no comparison.
No.
So it's some of this stuff is, I don't know. I still can't figure it out. Like what this younger generation, my guess is honestly, they're brainwashed by social media to like it. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a snowball effect. Someone that's popular likes it, so then I should like it, and then they all like it. But I don't think they actually like it.
There's no way.
There's no way. Anyways.
Another question here is from Pablo. Is Pablo Northern Lights going to be the next big fighter in Scandinavia, from Scandinavia?
Next big fighter from Scandinavia. Fuck. I don't know really. It's hard to say. Like I haven't been scouting much now, and we're not like a lot of events happening either. But Sweden got a lot of upcoming talent. I know that. So I think the next breakthrough star definitely coming from Sweden.
Well, right now is Hamzat, right? But he's like Dagestani Swedish.
Yeah.
Right.
So
was he born in Sweden?
No, I think he was born
in Dagestan.
Yeah. And
then all this training is.
Yeah.
When you were getting into MMA, was Gustafsson a big influence on you at any point?
No, because Gustafsson wasn't big. He was coming to train at that same gym I was going to in Sweden too sometimes. Like
okay.
He wasn't. I think he just made it to UFC maybe around then.
Because he's not that.
No.
He's probably only 3 or 4 years older than you.
Yeah, because he was still fighting at just local events in Sweden.
Yeah.
So he wasn't big, but man, same thing for me. It comes from like just a small town too, just a country boy.
Yeah.
And he made it far. I don't know if he's still planning on fighting, but man, he's kind of too good to retire.
He just had a couple that fight with Jones. I mean, I don't know. John's at a certain level, and the last one he fought, I don't know why he shouldn't have took that fight with Verdum. That was a stupid fight.
Yeah, the fight, take. And he should be able to beat Verdum, but I don't know. Like, man, get to 205 and like make another round for it. Like, he just needs to get.
He's still a top 5.
Yeah, he
at
is.
least, right?
He is.
And he's light heavyweight.
Yeah.
He went up to heavyweight, right? Yeah, and I think he got caught in a triangle or something against Verdum, and that's not, for me personally, when that happens, like, it can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really show your skill set if you just get caught.
No, and it wasn't like, I don't know if he really wanted to, like, because he had a long break there, retired for a while and came back, and I don't know, like, but I think he still got it.
I think it was I don't know, maybe I don't know, but it was probably the wrong fight to take.
Yeah.
Especially Verdum, and you got these. I mean, they're such veterans, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to ask about your experience at Tiger Muay Thai working with. It's actually originally I started following you, maybe 2 years ago because I always saw you in the corner of Tai Tuivasa, because Tai Tuivasa was really coming up until the Junior Dos Santos fight. Or sorry, the Dos Santos fight in Australia. I mean, I think he was ranked 8th or 9th. Like, he was on the verge of like becoming a top 5.
Yeah.
So I was following Tai because I was following Tai from Tiger Muay Thai. So I like to follow the Tiger Muay Thai fighters because it's close to home. That's how I originally started following you. I said, who's this guy in his corner? And I was doing some training at Unit 27 because I'm friends with Joy Summers.
Yeah.
I know Joy quite well. And I was like, okay, seeing you because you're in the corners. So can you talk a little bit of that, about your experience working with those guys like Tai Tuivasa, Justin Tafa, and the experience from the gym to the fights, and kind of how that all unfolded and how you became part of that team?
I knew Tai from I met him like some years before. He had come to AKA then, and he was helping Mark out with a camp.
Mark Hunt was at AKA.
That's where I met all the Tafas too, and that's how I got to know them. And Tai was coming out to Tiger to do his camp, and he wanted like some help with wrestling, and so me and Frank was gonna help him. I was like the only big guy that had to help him, and since I knew Tai before and we got along good, and yeah.
And do you have any funny stories about Tai that maybe if he sees?
I think everywhere we go, like, it's just fun. You know, when you're going on like a trip, it's gonna be fun. And yeah, it's always like, and they're always like the Islanders, the Usos. They always like look after you. They always like take you in with open arms, and they will like open you home.
It's like a family.
It's like a family. So it's like it's different when you go helping. Like, they really like appreciate it, and they want to work, like, because they're so like athletic naturally. They don't look athletic, none of them.
Yeah.
but they're so athletic. They're so strong. So like they're kind of easy like to coach and like to teach, like wrestling. They pick it up fast.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So when you're his kind of wrestling training partner in the gym, can you feel the difference in strength between, like, and how would you describe that between like a light heavyweight? I mean, you're middleweight.
Yeah.
Right. And training with him, is he able to just toss you around? You can hold your own?
No, I can hold my own against heavyweights. It's not about that. I'm a strong guy. It's not, I fought at heavyweight.
Yeah.
A lot of times too. So it's not a problem like not being a heavyweight, but it's definitely like when you hit it, like when you shoot in or when you're sparring, like it's different power.
Yeah.
That's why if I would go up and fight like full time at heavyweight, I would probably get knocked the fuck out, because the power difference is like so different from a natural heavyweight to someone who's coming up to heavyweight. But,
and you're not used to it.
And sometimes you just can't get used to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have a lot more power, but yeah.
And with Tai, I mean, it seems like I think he's got a fight coming up next against Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
Which is it's good because everyone wants to see Greg Hardy get knocked out every time, it seems, in this world. And then it puts a lot of eyes back on him, and he just won his last fight by knockout.
Yeah.
Which was quite impressive. So it seems, and he's young. I mean, he's like 27 now.
Yeah. He's young, so he's got like the future, and he's a heavyweight, so he can do this
till you can do that till 40.
Yeah.
If you want.
So he got the potential, and just had like bad momentum there for a while.
Yeah.
With some losses, but he put together a string again, and like this, suddenly he's top 10. It's not like that far off. He just needs 2-3 more wins.
And he's back in.
And then it's like up there again.
Yeah, because he was running through people up until he got the Dos Santos fight.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and look at the opening and like the first round there, like
he was doing well.
He's doing well. Like he's getting Santos like back off, but he just got overexcited. It was a big fight too. He got the pressure, like,
and it's in Australia.
In Australia, like you could hear like the people. It was crazy.
Yeah. And also you're also fighting these crafty veterans, right? Yeah. I mean, how many hours in the cage do they have?
Yeah, it was a big step up, but he like took it. It's not like he's not looking for like the easy way to the top. No. Like,
and he's still young. He can still there's tons of time, and hopefully he just flatlines Greg Hardy, which I think he will, because Greg Hardy, what was his last fight? He just gassed out.
I don't know what the fuck Greg Hardy's doing. Like sometimes he have like an inhalator there, and what else did he do?
The last fight he was completely gassed out, like like he couldn't even breathe on the ground, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was like TKO by gas out or whatnot, but he shouldn't be in there.
No, he's kind of.
He fought Alexander Volkov.
Yeah, he took that on short notice. I think he did.
But that's not the guy he should be fighting. My God.
No.
I mean, the UFC does it. I get it. It's to sell pay-per-views.
Yeah,
right?
But then he won some fights too against some like not cheap people. Like, so then you got like, but he's big and athletic.
I don't think he can make it through a second round.
No, I don't.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And sorry, we just wanted to quickly talk about some of the stuff that we're doing, and it's not so much about we don't even want to promote our product. It's not that. It was more closely related to CTE and psilocybin and some of the studies they're doing at Johns Hopkins. Is this becoming popular in the gyms? Is there a conversation there? People are talking about how psilocybin could be potentially beneficial for fighters and to help with maybe brain damage or early onset Alzheimer's or dementia. Is there a talk around the gym or with the MMA fighters about that?
No, I don't think people are really talking about it yet, because everyone is pretty like snowed in on the CBD track. Like everyone is like, oh, that's the shit. But yeah, I'm not really that hard on that.
Yeah, because I mean, CBD. Do you use CBD for like joint pain or anything like this?
No, I don't. I used it maybe then like 10 years ago when it was less like it was kind of new.
Yeah,
but I didn't. It wasn't for me. I'm sure that it got some benefits. I'm sure it does, but it wasn't for me. So,
and a lot of it. I mean, I'm not huge into CBD as well, but I mean, from my understanding, like it's helping with inflammation and whatnot. But I mean, can you not just get that through a proper diet, anyways?
Yeah, like all the CBD and all this stuff is not gonna like proper diets. Same thing with like CTE and stuff like that. You want to keep a good diet, which is hard after like you just have your head smashed in. Like you just want to eat some junk and you dieted for like God knows how long.
Yeah.
So you want to eat some junk, but you actually should be avoiding it.
And what is your diet typically? Like not even in camp, just like at a camp.
Like normal days, just simple meat, potatoes, rice, bread, protein shakes here and there, and chicken.
Are you eating a lot of like let's say processed sugars like 7-Eleven? Or do you completely like? Do you have a snack food that you kind of?
Yeah, if I have like snacks here and there. When I have a lot. I like to go like try new things at like 7-Eleven, for example. Just the worst kind of shit you can get, and you just get it because it looks so good.
It's poison,
and I just like go through a bag of that, and then I get up
like a pack of Coca-Cola gummies or
the best. But normally, yeah, I stay pretty healthy. I still eat. I can eat a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not hungry. I don't go into bed hungry. Like
No.
I can eat a lot, consume a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So we saw the UFC is doing some recent studies. Now, obviously, psilocybin, we don't sell that. We don't condone that. We don't talk about that because it still is technically illegal. It's essentially magic mushrooms, but they're doing some studies on that now with CTE and showing that it can help repair the brain because apparently, and again, this is still preliminary, that through neurogenesis and what's essentially called your nerve growth factor, it's the only, I don't know if I want to call it a drug or medicine or whatever, to actually repair the brain. But obviously pharmaceutical companies and whatnot, they're trying to keep it down, but they are doing studies now at Johns Hopkins with the UFC.
I saw, was it Ian McCall?
Ian McCall?
That UFC veteran, he was part of that study, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been following it a little bit.
Yeah, because some of it's definitely, I mean, CTE, it's a real thing. It's dangerous.
Yeah, and definitely sometimes I question myself if I have any symptoms. I don't know, like, because my memory is definitely not good. Like things like that. Like,
has your memory always been like that since you were like even before?
Yeah, but now it's like it's real bad. Like I have a bad memory, I know that, but so I don't know. It's just because I'm not listening, or just because I don't have a good memory, or because of CTE.
But when you were like in elementary school, did you feel your memory? Is it?
Yeah,
it's progressively. You feel it's getting worse, or?
I used to remember like stuff that people said and things that happened. I always remember. I had no like issue with that. But now I like forget like incidents maybe or things like that.
Maybe more short-term memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the products we'll be selling. We'll be doing supplements probably in the next 4 or 5 months, but primarily in the US. But one of them, and a lot of people, they're not aware of it, is we'll be doing lion's mane.
Yeah, I had that one from Tincture.
You had the tincture.
Yeah.
I think because you were one of your sponsors, the Friendly
Fighter's Friend.
Fighter's Friend. Because I came across them because I was doing some work with Eddie Farrell and Brooke Farrell. They were helping with the Muay Thai and Mushrooms event we did in Nyharn. But this stuff is supposed to help with memory. Did you try it? Did you notice any difference?
I used, but then I wasn't really aware if I was maybe having a bad memory or not. Now, like.
Yeah, and it's one of them. It could be a placebo effect. Yeah. You start to tell yourself you have a bad memory, and then
no, but I know I have a bad memory. That like, because actually, but and I've been punched in the head a lot. Not just from fights. It's just from the way of sparring too.
Do you? Because a lot of MMA fighters, let's say like Max Holloway, they're coming out and they're saying they don't spar in training camp, or they don't spar at all anymore.
I don't spar that much anymore, especially not like that much hard sparring. Or I do, like, but not the same way as before. And
are you putting on the headgear when you're sparring?
Headgear in Thailand too is too hot. It's too goddamn hot. Like if you wear that headgear, like you're just gonna have a bad headache because it's too hot.
I didn't even think of it that way.
So like your head just getting dehydrated using that thing.
Yeah, and because you're working outside these open gyms, I mean, you probably have fans, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. It's still hot
especially in this rainy season, all the humidity comes up. I mean, you're basically training in 100% humidity.
Yeah, feels like it.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Yeah, but some of they're doing some tincture stuff. It's more to act kind of like how we would take vitamin C.
Yeah,
you take it to boost your immune system, but it's not like there's no kick where it's like, okay, I felt something. It's supposed to. The studies behind it, it's supposed to, you take it after the age of like 25 when your prefrontal cortex is fully developed. Yeah. And then you just kind of take it for the rest of your life. And it's supposed to reduce Alzheimer's and dementia by 60%. That's what the studies have proven. And if you have that in your family, some people start to take it. That's how this whole, we got around this whole idea of doing a mushroom brand and whatnot. Do we have any other questions from the audience?
We have one more here that I read before. It's about your training routine. Do you wrestle, Muay Thai? How it's your training routine?
Right now, training routine is what my body allows me to do. Like, I'm so much half injured too, so like it's just like what I can do. But no, good case scenario, I would spar twice a week. I would wrestle twice a week. I would maybe box 2-3 times a week, and some strength and conditioning on that. But right now, it's a lot of boxing or like a lot of stand up and just going for light sparring and stuff like that, just to get the body going again. And trying to get in shape.
Yeah, because I was listening to, I think it was one of your promo videos, and you were saying that you would rather focus on like 2 to 3 techniques at 100% than kind of spread yourself thin.
Yeah,
and is that still true? Because this would have been from 7 years ago. Is this, you still follow that protocol?
Yeah, now almost like for a long time I just focused on wrestling for a very long time, and I got good at it. But I only got good at that. I didn't get good at anything else. And I've been doing the boxing for a long time too at Tiger, and I did that like consistently for like probably 2 years, and I felt like that got a little bit better. So.
And were you mixing that in with Muay Thai as well, or?
Yeah, then I don't really train like Muay Thai classes. I go to like do pad works and stuff like that.
It's more, is it kind of like a variation of like MMA Muay Thai?
No, I just want to hit some pads.
Just hit some pads.
Just hit some pads.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be everything, even though you're an MMA fighter, everything doesn't need to be about MMA. Sometimes it's just about learning this, and then you just gotta like kind of figure it out. I've been in the game for a while now, so I kind of know what I need and don't need.
So for you now, in terms of sharpening your skills, is there like one particular aspect of MMA that you want to just continue focusing on heavily, or what are the top 2?
No, I'm too old. Not too old, but
you're only what, 32?
Yeah, I'm not gonna change fighting style. I'm gonna keep fighting the same way I always fighting. I just gotta get better at fighting that style and just mixing stuff into it. It's not about trying to become a striker suddenly. It's like, I'm not gonna be the next Israel.
No. Are you're looking for the takedown?
Not necessarily. I'm looking to get it to the ground, but how it gets there, like, it's just either way.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, I think we've covered a lot. If you have any questions for us, let us know. We can answer anything going on here. We're planning to do like 2 to 3 podcasts a week. So you're always welcome to come back and maybe before you leave.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing some remote ones. So maybe we can jump on a call when you're in Australia and see where you're at there. We kind of want to do follow-ups with the people that come on and just see their progression and what we discussed here and see where they're at later. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Thanks so much, Glenn. Okay. This is the end of our podcast, and I don't really know how to end these things. All right, we're good.
Just fade out.
Yeah, just fade us out.